pensais que la réaction des Québécois serait aussi grosse que ça?
Ah, regarde, je dis tout le temps, on a les meilleurs fans de la Ligue canadienne. Fait que pour moi, c'était spécial. Les fans sont toujours là pour nous. Fait que, puis tout ce qui s'est passé après le match, tout le kit, garde, je pense que c'est un, c'est un petit peu un tourbillon en ce moment de tout ce qui se passe. Mais garde, extrêmement fier de nos partisans, extrêmement fier de l'équipe. Et puis en ce moment, ça tombe pas. Là, on est encore au 7e ciel. Fait que, non, c'est incroyable.
Tu parles d'être fier. Il y a un sentiment de fierté qui est revenu autour des Alouettes, là.
Ah, absolument. Regarde, ça fait 13 ans. C'est longtemps, ça. C'est extrêmement longtemps. Je l'ai vécu. Fait que, non, c'est quelque chose de spécial. Et puis, comme j'ai dit, c'est dur à décrire. C'est quelque chose, un feeling incroyable. Moi, ma première année, je l'ai vécu, mais en tant que réserviste, je pense que c'était un petit peu différent. Mais être sur le terrain, quand on a fait le dernier toucher, il y a rien que je peux dire pour vous décrire c'est quoi. Je voudrais que tout le monde peut vivre ça au moins une fois dans leur vie. Mais on est extrêmement fiers. Puis toute l'année longue, on parlait, quand Coach Moss est rentré, il voulait qu'on apprenne le français en tant qu'équipe. Et puis, il fallait savoir comment dire nos numéros en français. Et puis, juste des affaires simples comme ça, c'est quelque chose de spécial parce qu'on est à Montréal, on est au Québec. Et puis, on est extrêmement fiers de ça.
Can I just ask you on that same subject about how much that factored into this team coming together? Because you talked about like us against the world and kind of that factor into bringing you guys together.
I mean, that's huge for us. We came into camp and, everyone already counted us out. So for us, right from the get-go, we were unified with that one thing, knowing that we wanted to prove everyone wrong. Coach Moss came in and he wanted us to have a really tight group. That's something we've been working on for a few years. There was a bit of a change year after year, starting a few years back. So you had a few core players, then there'd be more the next year. Danny came in, then with the new owner, new coach, all the stuff that we did, it was the cherry on the sundae that we needed to get over that hump. And, everyone's unified. You can have an old guy like me playing ping pong with a rookie, and, we're having a blast. All the position groups, everyone, we mingle all together. And there's not one guy on this team that I don't love. I mean, it's an incredible feeling. And the group of guys that we have, I wouldn't have wanted to win it with anyone else. It's very special.
Quand un vétéran gagne un championnat, il y a deux, ça peut aller des deux bords. Il y en a qui vont dire « Hey, je me retire en haut de la montagne ». Il y en a d'autres qui vont dire « Non, ça a été trop le fun, je veux revenir ». À vif, là, dès la fin du match, c'était quoi ton feeling?
Regarde, quand c'est arrivé, j'ai dit finalement on l'a fait, là, ça fait 13 ans, j'étais extrêmement... Regarde, j'ai dit finalement, ça fait beaucoup de travail, on dit tout le temps qu'on travaille tellement fort, puis ici c'est vraiment quelque chose qu'on a mis en force dessus, cette année c'est de travailler fort, mais en ce moment je pense même pas à ça, même à ce moment-là, c'est peut-être niaiseux, mais je me dis, OK, on a gagné, puis là je commençais déjà à penser, c'est quoi la prochaine, comme l'année prochaine, c'est quoi qui va arriver. Fait que je me suis dit... Hey, deux de suite, ça serait le fun aussi, mais on n'est pas rendu là. Okay. Je veux pas m'avancer, mais garde, on a travaillé extrêmement fort. Et puis, des affaires comme ça, c'est des affaires dans la saison morte qu'on discute, mais en ce moment, on veut juste en profiter de la situation. Puis, comme je l'ai dit, on est au 7e ciel en ce moment.
Tu as parlé des 13 ans que tu as dû attendre. Il y a eu des années particulièrement difficiles, là, je pense, en 2013-2018. Y a-tu des moments où tu t'es dit, ça ne reviendra pas, tu as pensé à abandonner ou à quitter ou peu importe?
C'est une bonne question, mais je pense que si j'ai eu ces moments-là, je les ai bloqués. Fait que, non, c'est sûr que quand ça va pas bien, ça ne tente pas de rentrer au travail, c'est difficile. Il y a eu plusieurs affaires, des joueurs qu'on a perdus, il y a eu des changements avec les coachs, des changements avec des propriétaires. Fait qu'il y avait plusieurs affaires, mais je me suis toujours dit, ça va changer. À chaque année, je me dis au début de l'année, ça va être cette année que ça va changer, ça va être cette année. Je l'ai dit pendant plusieurs années, c'était long. Mais honnêtement, cette année, je l'ai dit encore. Puis là, quand on a fait notre camp d'entraînement, il y avait quelque chose dans l'air. Il y avait une énergie qui était là avec Coach Moss, Côté qui est venu, des gars comme James Stock aussi, un gars incroyable. Et puis les gars qu'on a ajoutés pendant la saison, Sankey, Lemon. On dirait qu'il y avait quelque chose dans l'air. L'univers le voulait pour nous aussi. Mais l'univers faisait partie du 1% aussi, je pense. Fait que, puis là, Jason Moss, il sortait des statistiques, des chiffres, puis toutes ces affaires-là qui nous montraient que le Great 8, là, c'est quelque chose de spécial cette année. Et puis, garde, j'ai jamais lâché, puis je lâcherai jamais. Faut toujours travailler fort pour ce qu'on veut. Puis je pense que ça, c'est l'histoire pour notre équipe au complet.
dis-moi si je me trompe, t'es le premier qui a touché à la coupe là-bas. Est-ce que ça t'a fait quelque chose de spécial?
Oui, c'était quelque chose de spécial. Je me suis dit, en tant que le petit vieux de l'équipe, je voulais le prendre. Je voulais être un des premiers pour le prendre. Et puis, en même temps, je pense que la journée avant, Marc-Antoine Dequoy est venu me voir. Puis il a dit, en passant, quand c'est le temps de prendre la coupe, ça va être toi qui vas le prendre en premier. Regarde, c'est vraiment émotif. Fait que, tu vois, il y a des moments que, tu sais, je réalise pas c'est quoi qui s'est passé, mais, tu sais, les gars, on s'aime. Tu sais, c'était spécial. Fait que, tu sais, un gars qui dit ça, ça montre que tout le monde le voulait pour l'autre.
10 Quebecers on this team is the most in the modern era for a championship Alouettes team. What sense of pride does that fill you with knowing that this is the most local team?
That's incredible. I mean, you base your team off of local guys. It gives that pride factor too. You know, being in Montreal, I watched the Alouettes growing up. So for me, I wanted to be an Alouette. I watched the championship, the early championships. I watched Anthony Calvillo become who he was, and then I just wanted to play by him and play next to him, and I got the chance to do that. Him, Cahoon, like all those guys. So now I'm that guy that maybe someone is looking at and saying, hey, I want to play with him. I want to be like he was. And when you see guys like me, guys like Marc-Antoine Dequoy, Chagnon, Gagné, there's so many right now, I can't even name them all. Dallaire, all these guys, and you see them come in here and they win a championship as an Alouette, their dream team growing up. I mean, you can't ask, like, there's no better ending than that. So it's extremely, we're extremely blessed. We're humbled by it as well, and we're very proud of it too.
Cette équipe-là, as-tu les fondations pour, tu penses, connaître une série de succès puis s'étend sur plusieurs saisons?
Moi, ce que je pense, c'est que, comme j'ai dit ça une couple de fois, ça fait une couple d'années maintenant qu'il y a quelque chose qui est en train de se bâtir. Ça n'a pas juste arrivé aujourd'hui, c'est pas arrivé hier ou la semaine passée, ou même juste au début de l'année. À chaque année, depuis quelques années, il y avait une progression. On s'est rendu en série. Après ça, on a gagné le demi-finale. Fait que là, tu sais, c'était une affaire à la fois. Et puis, je pense que... comme on dit, je sais pas, une culture qui s'est bâtie, où ce que l'équipe, on s'aime, on veut travailler un et pour l'autre, on le veut pour le gars à côté de nous. Et puis ça, c'est quelque chose qui a bâti. Puis là, Jason Moss, quand il est rentré cette année avec les affaires en groupe, des affaires comme ça, c'était comme la cerise sur le Sunday. Fait que tu sais, toutes les affaires, une affaire après l'autre, tu sais, Danny qui est venu après la saison 2019, je pense que 2020. Après ça, tu as Coach Moss, nouveau propriétaire, les gars qu'on a ajoutés année après année. Garde, il y a une fondation à bâtir dessus. Puis garde, je pense qu'on peut être encore meilleur qu'on l'était, mais je pense vraiment avec ça, on peut bâtir quelque chose qui va durer plus longtemps.
Est-ce qu'il y a des joueurs que vous ne pouvez pas vous permettre de perdre? Est-ce que, mettons, si un Sankey s'en allait?
Regarde, je dirais tout le monde. À chaque année, l'équipe va être différente. Ça, c'est sûr et certain. Quand même, la Ligue il est petit quand même. Les gars voyagent un petit peu partout. C'est dur avec le cap salarial de garder tout le monde. C'est difficile. Mais regarde, des gars comme Sankey, c'est dur à remplacer un gars comme ça. Il est rentré mi-saison. Puis l'effet qu'il y a eu en défense, c'était incroyable. C'est un leader en défense. Avec Lemon aussi. C'est des gars... tu peux pas les remplacer. Fait que je comprends pas comment Lemon il était pas sous contrat. À chaque année, on dirait une histoire avec ça. Mais regarde, je pense que c'est un des meilleurs coéquipiers que j'ai eu dans ma carrière. C'est un gars qui voulait ça pour son équipe, pour ses frères. Et puis à tous les matins, il rentrait en souriant. Il rendait tout le monde meilleur. Tout le monde était meilleur à cause de lui. Mais même chose, en offense, tu peux pas... je dirais le groupe de gars qu'on a, on veut juste en ajouter plus. Si on pouvait en avoir plus de joueurs, ça serait encore mieux. Mais c'est sûr qu'il y a toujours des changements. Mais non, c'est tout le monde en ce moment de cette équipe-là, édition 2023, qui a, comme Mars a dit, a fini à 10 heures. Déjà, ça fait 2 jours. Là. Ça va être différent, mais tout le monde est I can't even say the word, sorry guys. Irreplaceable. C'est ça.
Surtout développé avec toi. Christian est venu les larmes aux yeux là, quand il répondait à une question de Renaud sur le fait qu'il était le premier à soulever la Coupe Grey. Il disait que tu lui avais dit que ce serait lui qui lèverait en premier. Comment ce moment-là s'est déroulé?
Ça a commencé avec une joke dans le début de la semaine. On taquinait, on disait est-ce que vous pensez le premier qui lève la Coupe Grey? Je dis je sais pas, mais le deuxième, ça va être, on disait, un gars de vidéo. Tu sais. On taquinait là-dessus. Puis après ça, c'est venu à la discussion pour en parler. Je dis tout le monde, on avait parlé, c'est Christian Matt. Fait que, après ça, je la continuais. Je dis, qui tu penses le premier qu'il avait coupé? Tout le monde disait Christian Matt. Personne ne m'en avait parlé en vrai. Fait que quand je l'ai croisé, j'ai juste dit, hey, tu sais, t'es le premier qui l'avait coupé, j'espère que tu le sais. Puis là, il a dit, ah, Joe, t'inquiète, j'allais la vie de toute façon, tu sais. Mais, tu sais, l'avoir, la confirmation des fois de tous les joueurs, comme on le sait, là. Tu sais, 13 ans d'attente, personne n'a vécu. J'ai vécu 3 ans, puis ça semblait très long. Fait que je peux pas dire 13 ans comment c'est long, puis c'était même pas une question si c'était qui est-ce allait être. T'sais, pour nous, c'était sûr que c'était lui. Puis c'est le respect aussi qu'il y a dans l'équipe. C'est le respect qu'il y a pour un vétéran, un gars d'ici, un gars qui a vraiment donné corps et âme à cette équipe-là. Puis que PAV, pour vrai, c'était tellement un beau moment. Puis vous le voyez, là, sa réaction quand il apprend, là, ça va être quelque chose, je pense, à marquer à l'histoire sur la résilience, sur son caractère et sur sa résilience.
Mais justement, un gars comme lui, qu'est-ce que ça amène dans un caractère d'équipe qui a évolué là, au fil de l'année? Là?
Ah, c'est les traditions. Vous comprenez que les années 2010, c'était la fin. Fait que c'est sûr qu'il n'a pas grandi dans l'âge d'or, on va dire, des Alouettes des années 2000. Mais il était à la fin de ça. Puis il y avait encore cette mentalité-là, puis cette culture-là. Puis lui, il a pris cette culture-là. Puis il l'a gardé pendant toutes ces années-là. Évidemment, c'était pas des années difficiles, mais il savait c'était quoi l'équipe était. Il savait c'était quoi l'énergie dans ce vestiaire-là en 2010. Il savait c'était quoi gagner. Il savait c'était quoi un vestiaire de champions puis unis. Puis je pense que qu'est-ce qu'il a vu dans les dernières années, puis qu'est-ce qu'il me dit, il dit ça me fait penser aux mêmes années. Tu sais, ça me fait penser aux mêmes années. Puis de pouvoir avoir cette comparaison-là avec quelqu'un qui l'a vécu, que ça, moi, je ne l'ai pas vu. Tu sais, j'aurais aimé ça pour me dire, hey, c'est quoi ces années-là, mais j'ai quelqu'un qui l'a vécu qui peut me dire, ouais, c'était comme ça, puis c'était la même sensation qu'il y avait. Tu peux pas acheter ça. Tu n'as pas de prix là-dessus.
David nous disait qu'il reçoit tellement de messages qu'il comprend un peu c'est quoi le quotidien de Marc-Antoine Dequoy. Ta boîte de messages de toi, ça ressemble à quoi? Je peux même pas répondre. Honnêtement, tu sais, il y a beaucoup de personnes qui m'écrivent, puis j'apprécie énormément. J'essaie, juste par texto, c'est difficile, mais c'est la vague d'amour qu'on a, c'est incroyable. Puis je pense que c'est ça que j'aime de Montréal et du Québec. On est tellement fiers de nos champions, puis on est fiers de nos équipes. Je me rappelle, il y a quelques années, quand les Canadiens ont accédé à la Coupe cette année, là, dans les rues, comment le monde fêtait, comment le monde sont fiers. Tu sais, on ne l'a pas gagné, malheureusement, mais comment le monde sont fiers de nos équipes. Puis tu le vois en ce moment, toute cette fierté-là, puis tout le monde qui encourage. Puis j'ai juste hâte à demain. Ça va être... je peux pas m'imaginer comment ça peut être.
Est-ce que, évidemment, le groupe va changer, ça ne sera pas exactement la même équipe l'année prochaine, mais pensez que les fondations sont là pour que vous deveniez une équipe là, qui peut prétendre justement à participer à la finale pendant 3, 4, 5 saisons, un peu comme Winnipeg, la run qu'ils viennent de connaître. Là.
Ben là, c'est ça, tu sais, c'est ça l'objectif. Si tu regardais, cette année, on était plus en mode, pas de créer une dynastie, mais juste d'accéder à la Coupe Grey et d'essayer de voir la chance de la gagner. Puis là, on l'accomplit. La prochaine étape, c'est de pouvoir garder ça. C'est de pouvoir, moi, j'explique, si on a la défensive qu'on a eue, puis on a l'attaque qui s'est présentée à cette game-là pour une saison complète, je ne sais pas qui peut nous battre avec les unités spéciales qu'on a eues. Puis là, l'objectif, c'est que la fondation est bâtie, mais c'est que l'équipe est expérimentée. Tout le monde dans cette équipe-là ont expérimenté c'est quoi une semaine de la Coupe Grey et ont gagné une Coupe Grey. Puis ce noyau-là, puis ce corps-là de vétérans champions, tu peux pas avoir une meilleure fondation pour construire une équipe championne avec ça. Là, c'est sûr qu'il ne va pas avoir les mêmes joueurs à chaque année, c'est des équipes différentes. Puis il va y avoir des nouveaux joueurs parce qu'il va y avoir une classe de repêchage. Fait que moi, je pense juste que les fondations sont bonnes. Là, c'est plus vraiment notre travail, c'est le travail à Danny, à PY, à eux autres de tout régler ça. Mais je suis vraiment confiant, honnêtement, pour l'avenir. Puis je vais juste dire quelque chose sur Jason Moss, que je l'ai déjà mentionné une fois, mais quand tu es un coach qui se fait renvoyer, qui arrive dans une nouvelle équipe, puis que ton premier discours à l'équipe, c'est pas hey, on essaie d'avoir une bonne saison, c'est on va gagner une Coupe Grey, il faut avoir une bonne paire. Il faut être confiant en maudit, puis dire, le premier, c'est ça, c'est le Grade 8 qu'on a décidé juste de parler à la fin. C'était supposé d'être privé durant toute l'année, puis à la fin, on va en parler. Mais le Grade 8, c'est la première journée qu'il nous a parlé de ça. Il nous a montré, le gars, il m'a dit, c'est ça. Il vient de se faire envoyer, puis il parle tout de suite, moi, je veux gagner une Coupe Grey. Le 10, c'est une affaire, mais de le gagner puis le faire à cette première année avec une nouvelle équipe, un nouveau propriétaire, c'est incroyable.
La prochaine victoire, c'est les Carabins?
Ouais, c'est ça. Là, la prochaine victoire, c'est samedi. J'espère être là.
Étais-tu là à la parade en 2010 ou en 2009 comme partisan?
Non, j'ai pas été. J'ai vu les vidéos, mais malheureusement, c'est dans le temps de l'école. Hein.
Ouais. On manque pas d'école à prochaine.
C'est ça. Mais là, c'est ça que je suis super intéressé parce qu'il y a une grève. J'ai beaucoup de parents qui me disent ouais, je vais aller avec mon fils. Fait que je suis quand même curieux de voir. Ça va ressembler à quoi. Je fais pas trop d'attente, mais je veux dire, je suis juste. Peu importe ça va être quoi le nombre, puis quand je suis juste hors de vie, ça. Là. Ça a l'air d'être assez incroyable.
C'est quoi ta situation contractuelle? C'est une question plate. Là, mais on essaie de figurer qui est joueur autonome, qui ne l'est pas.
Moi, j'ai signé 3 ans. Fait que là, si j'ai fini la première année, il m'en reste 2 autres.
OK.
Ouais. Fait que je suis pas en botte.
I'm expecting a great time. You know, I know the city's gonna do their thing. We're excited, and man, we're just happy. I can't even, we're just happy. So.
Will it be special with snow on the ground?
some of the Christmas feeling. We don't care, man. We just, truthfully, we're just happy and grateful, and man, I can't even describe it, man. We're just happy.
Can I ask you about the way that this team came together? One of the factors Cody talked about last week was that embracing the Quebecois culture and the language a little bit. What was that like for you coming into this market and and connecting with the city like that?
Yeah, there's definitely not another city in the CFL that's like that. At least that I played for. I was with Calgary and Saskatchewan, great organizations, but in terms of the French culture, I don't think that anything tops Montreal or Quebec. And if there is, I don't know about it. But I'm just, they welcome me with open arms. I've tried my best to learn some French. Like I know Messi. That's about it. But they've done a good job of just welcoming me, treating me like family. Nothing but love for the organization and the city. I love it here.
How much of a bonding aspect was that for the team, though, to kind of go through that collective?
Yeah, and actually, to speak on that, I think Coach Moss did a great job. Like one of the first things we do when anybody signs is they got to say their number in French, introduce themselves in French. So it's like, I think just little stuff like that kind of can go a long way. Because it's showing us like. This is what we're about. Like you don't gotta learn everything, but at least try. And that's especially as an American, primarily English speaking man. It's at least I'm trying. So it's
Darnell, before joining the Alouettes, you were looking for one more shot in the NFL. With what you've shown on the field, do you think this will happen?
Man, I don't even know what my next step is. It's whatever the man upstairs tells me. I know it sounds kind of like I say it all the time, but I really don't have a whole lot of planning. I can say that I love this organization. I love the team, the coaching staff. They've done a great job of welcoming me, and we just want a Grey Cup, So, in terms of NFL, if that's in my cards, then that'll take care of itself, But I'm just really just living in the moment right now and just enjoying being on a championship team.
Do you feel that
when you refer to the man upstairs, you're talking about Machocha?
No, I'm talking about good.
Do you want to come back here?
That's
offered to you.
That's definitely on the table. I'll put it like that.
Do you think this team has? This team has the foundations to build what maybe Winnipeg has done and be a contender for the next 3, 4, 5 seasons?
Yeah. Winnipeg is they've shown themselves in the Grey Cup 4 years in a row. But I think we have the pieces here that's needed, and I'm excited to see more. So if that answers any questions.
How much sleep have you gotten since?
How much sleep?
Yeah.
So we played Sunday. So today's Tuesday.
Yeah.
So Sunday.
That tells a lot. That's a good start.
That's your answer. That's your answer, I guess. I don't know. Just maybe a couple hours a day. I don't know, man. We've been enjoying ourselves, so you know.
As you should. Yeah.
And the team is living the dream, but you personally, you know, to have catch that ball, how does it feel?
Yeah, you know, it's all kind of sinking in. I think tomorrow when we have the parade, I'll officially, you know, seeing all the fans in the city. But yeah, it's just a surreal moment. I could watch that play 1,000 times probably now. Just keep replaying over in my mind, you know, just the trust that Cody had in me and just the kind of drive that we put together, you know. And just seeing that's going to be one of the historic plays, and you know that drive will go down in history. It's just so cool.
Who gets to keep that ball? You or Cody?
I get to keep the ball. I think. I technically still have it, so he hasn't asked for it. So I think he knows.
Is that the kind of image that you'll try to find the best possible picture, get it framed, put it up in your living room or something?
Yeah, for sure. I've seen a couple cool ones already. I think it made the newspaper as well. So definitely gotta get my hands on a copy of that. But yeah, for sure, I gotta get one of those framed.
Talked a lot about how this team came together. One of the things that Cody was talking about was how you guys would speak French when you first got here. You'd say your number in French, connecting with the culture and connecting with the city. Can you just tell me a little bit about what that kind of meant to bring you guys together, connecting with Montreal?
Yeah, for sure. You know, obviously we're the only French team in the league. So Coach Moss from day one, you know, he's not French himself, but that's something he stressed importance from day one. So I think it was really cool to kind of bring the French guys and the English guys together. And, you know, sometimes you'd catch some of the English guys speaking French on the off day. And just that kind of bond, that kind of camaraderie that we had as a team, you know, pushed us through the tough times we had all season. And, you know, it's just the kind of goal and the kind of finish that we wanted.
How comfortable were you when you had to say your number?
Oh, I was comfortable for sure. You know, my number's pretty easy. So some of the guys that have the 80s they get a little confused. But yeah, if you're under 10, you know, I learned some French in English school, so I'm good.
On a personal standpoint, you started the year with the injury. Obviously, it got you a couple games to get back to the form. Did you feel like you were the year before at the end of the season?
Yeah, definitely. You know, I appreciate the coaches and the training staff, you know, making me wait the whole 6 games. You know, that wasn't something I wanted to do, but it ended up being crucial for me and getting myself back to 100%. And I feel like that one Toronto game, that was the start of my greatness towards the end of the season. And yeah, I just owe it all to my training staff and my coaches for putting the trust in me and just entrusting me to get back to 100% and just going with it, and we're able to capitalize off of it.
Was it the last year of your contract?
No, I'm still in a player option, so I got 3 years on my rookie deal. So would love to be back here. I'm hoping the team sees that same thing. And so yeah, I can't wait to be back in blue and red next year for sure.
Talk about, you know, the catch at the end when you realize it's coming to you and the game's on the line and there's no margin for error. You have to grab that ball. You know, the adrenaline that's pumping there.
Yeah, man. Once I seen the ball in the air, I knew I had to go get it. You know, it's kind of white noise. You don't think about anything except the ball's in the air and you have to go attack it. And kind of, once I caught it and kind of rolled over, I seen everybody rolling towards me, and there was no doubt once that ball was in the air that I was gonna catch that. And yeah, it was surreal, man. Like the emotions were flowing, like just everything. And seeing my family after the game is really what kind of caused emotions to tear up, and just all the hard work and just everything I've been through. Just all to fruition, and you know, it's just so great I was able to do it with this team.
Before your catch, what was the greatest catch you've seen?
Oh, I mean, for me, being a younger generation, it'd probably be like Odell Beckham Jr. when he made that one-hand catch. But you know, having a game-winning catch, you know, in a game I grew up watching, CFL was my first love over the NFL, and just to do it on that kind of stage, you know, I don't think I could have written a storybook finish any better.
Chez les Québécois, chez les Montréalais?
Probablement, oui. Tu sais jamais trop à quoi t'attendre. Personnellement, moi, je pense que je le réalise pas encore. Je suis encore un peu sur un nuage. Je pense que demain, quand on va faire la parade sur Sainte-Catherine, je pense que c'est là qu'on va prendre l'ampleur de ce qu'on a accompli. Tu sais, voir tous nos fans et tout, ça va être de quoi de vraiment spécial. Mais non, je pense que pour le football québécois, pour la province de Québec, pour la ville de Montréal, on vient d'accomplir de quoi d'assez gros, là.
As-tu déjà été plus content d'une victoire où tu es juste appelé à faire les bottées dans la voie Pas de placement, pas rien.
Ben, honnêtement, ma job, c'est de faire des placements, mais les placements, ça veut dire qu'on n'a pas bien fait à l'attaque, qu'on ne s'est pas rendu à la zone payante. Donc, pour moi, un match parfait, c'est de faire seulement des convertis puis des kick-offs, puis c'est ça qui est arrivé. Donc, je peux pas être plus heureux. Évidemment, tu veux être la personne qui fait le gros botté à la fin du match, mais si tu n'en as pas besoin, ben, tant mieux. C'est encore mieux. On joue, tu veux pas te rendre à ce moment-là, que tu dois faire un placement comme à la fin pour égaliser. Ben, je vais prendre à tous les jours de la semaine un toucher au lieu de devoir faire un bottin, c'est normal.
Le converti, par contre, pour amener l'écart à 4 points.
Oui, exact.
C'est ça,
exact. Il était important. C'était un bottin important. Moi, j'ai pas vu la drive à la fin. Je l'ai écouté après par la suite, mais j'ai pas vu le toucher à Tyson. J'ai juste entendu le banc exploser. Puis là, j'ai levé la tête et j'ai vu que tout le monde était dans la zone de début. J'étais dans ma bulle sur le côté préparé parce que je savais que peu importe que ce soit un toucher ou un placement, j'allais devoir faire un botté qui allait être important à la fin du match.
Puis justement, dans un match serré comme ça, tu dis que tu as eu 4 convertis, mais dans un match serré comme ça prend tous les points.
Exact.
Parle-moi un petit peu de ton niveau d'adrénaline, nervosité, mais aussi concentration dans ces moments-là.
Honnêtement, j'étais zéro nerveux. J'étais tellement concentré dans ma bulle que... Puis tu sais, je pense que c'est une bonne chose. J'étais à part. J'ai même pas. On a scoré de toucher, puis j'ai juste jogué sur le terrain comme si je m'en allais faire un autre botté en pré-saison ou en pratique ou peu importe. J'ai aucunement célébré. J'étais vraiment concentré dans le moment, puis je pense que c'est ça que j'ai besoin. En tout cas, moi, je pense qu'un botteur, ça doit rester tout le temps neutre. Si tu as des high and low, des fois, ça peut affecter ta technique un petit peu. Donc,
on fait ça comment? On va juste être calme de main.
Tu tombes dans... quand la game commence, surtout une game d'ampleur comme ça, au début, tu réalises, puis tu apprécies le moment, mais quand la game commence, tu embarques dans un mode, là, c'est dur à expliquer dans ta zone. On parle souvent de la zone pour un athlète. C'était comme si t'es pas dans ton corps. C'est comme un film, tout est au ralenti, puis c'est vraiment un état que tu es juste confortable dans ce que tu fais de mieux, puis tu y vas un jeu à la fois. Moi, c'est un peu ça à chaque fois que j'en ai eu 10 de suite ou manqué 10 de suite. Tu y vas un jeu à la fois, puis je regarde ce qui se passe, mais je ne célèbre pas vraiment avec les gars autant parce que je sais que je dois rester calme, puis je peux pas laisser mes émotions m'emporter. Moi, célébrer après avec les gars quand ça va être fini, puis ça va être ça mon accomplissement à la fin.
Parlant d'émotion, Christian avait les larmes aux yeux en répondant à la question de Renaud sur le fait qu'il a été le premier à soulever la Coupe Grey. Ça te fait quoi de voir qu'il y a une chimie si spéciale dans cette équipe-là, que l'équipe ait pensé à ce que ce soit lui qui soulève?
C'est incroyable. Ça fait 13 ans qu'il est ici, Christian. Il a vécu les années glorieuses, il a vécu des années plus difficiles, il a vécu 1001 changements, partant du propriétaire à des joueurs qui ont parti, puis il est tout le temps resté, il a tout le temps été un joueur d'impact dans l'équipe. Je pense que c'est la moindre des choses, que c'est juste naturel que ce soit lui qui la soulève en premier. J'aurais pas vu personne d'autre la soulever avant lui. C'est un peu le cœur de cette équipe-là. Puis chaque game, tu l'écoutes, puis moi, ça fait 3 ans que je le côtoie, puis c'est un coéquipier en or, c'est un ami en or qui met tout le temps les autres avant lui-même, puis il essaie tout le temps de donner des conseils sur son expérience. Donc, je pense que ça allait de soi. Là. Quand c'est arrivé, moi, j'ai eu une petite pensée à Raymond Bourque, qui, il en avait gagné une avant, mais c'est pas pareil. C'est la fin de sa carrière, attendu 13 ans, puis je pense qu'il n'était pas habillé, il était réserviste. J'ai eu une petite pensée de même, quand on l'a vu, j'ai fait, c'est vraiment cool pour lui, c'est un bel accomplissement en fin de carrière comme ça, là, tu peux pas rêver de mieux.
Quand on devient champion de la Coupe Grey, est-ce que ta boîte de messages et ta boîte vocale explose?
J'ai pas encore passé au travers de tout. Je me rends compte un peu comment Marc-Antoine se sent sur ma journée longue. Mais c'est juste le fun. Quand j'ai un petit 5 minutes de libre, je réponds. Je vais répondre à tout le monde, peut-être pas dans les prochains 72 heures, mais je vais répondre à tout le monde le plus que je peux. Puis il y en a plein de messages qui s'ajoutent. Mais non, c'est le fun de voir des amis, des coéquipiers que j'ai joué au secondaire, au cégep, de la famille, tout le monde qui se rattache puis qui se rallie à ce championnat-là puis qui célèbre un petit peu avec nous. Donc, c'est vraiment, ça fait chaud au cœur d'avoir toute cette vague de messages d'amour-là.
Tu as parlé de... Vas-y.
La moyenne raillée,
ouais.
Comment les 36 dernières heures pour toi?
Pas beaucoup de sommeil. Jusqu'à hier soir, 11h, quand j'allais me coucher, j'avais dormi 45 minutes depuis la game. Fait que, mais ouais, la voix, je pense, c'est après le match. J'ai juste, on criait sur le terrain avec tous les gars. À chaque fois qu'on se donnait un collier, on hurlait, puis La voix est cop. Je vais aller, dans mon exit médical, je vais aller demander des halls. Puis si c'est ça mon plus gros problème, d'avoir mal à la gorge, ça aura valu la peine.
Tu as parlé de haut pied de bas, tu en as eu cette saison.
Ouais.
Pendant le match de la Coupe Grey, Joseph Zeman qui a eu des difficultés avec certains sabotés de dégagement. Est-ce que vous avez eu des discussions sur le sideline ou tu me laisses tranquille dans ce temps-là?
Ben, tu sais, on est tout le temps là pour supporter. Puis, c'est mon meilleur chum dans l'équipe. On passe tellement de temps ensemble que. Puis, tu sais, Joe, selon moi, c'est le meilleur punter de cette ligue-là. Selon moi, il aurait dû gagner All-Star Punter. Il l'a pas eu. Puis, tu sais, Richie a fait une très bonne job aussi, il le mérite. Évidemment, j'ai un parti pris parce que je passe mes journées avec Joe. Mais, tu sais, il n'a jamais manqué de beauté en 3 ans ici. Puis là, c'est arrivé. C'est un gros stage de moment et tout. À un moment donné, il est arrivé au banc, puis j'ai juste dit fais ce que tu fais à tous les jours. Il en manque pas. Moi, c'est la première fois que. Puis vous aussi, qu'il en manque, il en manque pas. C'est pas compliqué. Donc, revenir à la base, puis je pense qu'après, il a pris un moment pour justement retourner dans sa bulle, refocuser sur. Ça reste que c'est un mouvement qu'on fait depuis 7, 8, 10 ans, à tous les jours. Fait que tu sais comment le faire. Pense pas, fais juste botter le ballon, puis il y a des bonnes choses qui vont arriver. Puis je pense que c'est le botté d'après. Il a fait une bombe qui est tombée au 2, puis il a roulé jusqu'au 7-8. Ça a changé le terrain de côté, pas de parfait. Donc, personne n'était inquiet, même s'il avait manqué ces deux-là. Tout le monde savait qu'il était capable de le faire. Puis après, tout le reste du match, il a été sans faille. Là, donc, rien à dire sur lui. C'était parfait comment il a joué.
So, the greatest defense you've ever played on. You've played on a lot of defenses. What made this the greatest?
Just the fight, and just the fight that we have in the players. Coach Thorpe is I've been saying all year, he's a coordinator who doesn't get a lot of respect in this league as far as the game plan and the work that he puts in. He ignites the fire for us and puts that good game plan for us to go out and execute.
Christian Matt was saying how much you were able to make everybody on this team better, on defense, on offense, with the leadership that you had, when you come in. What's just your reaction to that?
It's very humbling to hear that. I just try to lead by example. I try to come in and, I do the film study. I try to learn what other players around me are doing so I can help in any aspect of it, any advice I can give, and just try to lead by example and hold everyone accountable, including myself.
Obviously, it's not your first championship, but is there any special flavor to this one?
Most definitely. This is ranked number 1 of anything that I've achieved in my sports career. Just because, the adversity that went into individually and as a team. And, just everyone's here for a reason. You look at a guy like Côté, what he went through in SAS, for people, saying that he can't, be a quarterback, Grey Cup winning quarterback, starting Grey Cup winning quarterback. Coach Moss, who's fired in SAS. Coach Noel Thorpe, who players, wow, to me, to read the articles, go back and read the articles, what players said about him as a coach and him as a person. Myself, just we're all here for a reason. We're all together for a reason. I'm just thankful to be able to celebrate a championship with an amazing staff and amazing players in that locker room.
We've heard about how Coach Moss used, being in Quebec and connecting with the culture here as a way to kind of bring you guys together as a team and bond as a team. How much of a factor was that as you guys kind of coming together?
It brought us closer. We understood what we were playing for. We understand this province. We understand, our fans. And I just brought culture. It helped with the culture of this team. And then we wouldn't be where we were today without, just learning, about why come live and play for a province that you don't know anything about. So we took it upon ourselves to learn as much as we could. Even if you learn one word in French, at least you're trying. You know what I mean? One word a week or something like that. So just try it.
A lot of the fans seem to think that this team took a turn when you joined, and especially when you started taking your stride. How much pride is there for you to hear, to get that recognition from the fans to say, this guy made a big difference?
I don't think that I'm the only factor into that, but it is refreshing to hear because a lot of times in my career I've done things like this in other places, but to actually get flowers for that, I'm definitely appreciative and thankful for that. But this is the ultimate team sport in football. It's 12 of us on the field and another 300, 400 football ops coaches and things that go into things. So all of us just paint a perfect picture together.
Do you feel like you still have something to accomplish in this league?
Most definitely. Most definitely. I'm having a lot of fun. I feel like my best football is yet ahead of me. which is probably sounds crazy when you listen to it, but I just know the work that I put in, and with Coach Thorpe's defense, I just feel like, just imagine what it could be in a full season. Yeah.
What's your contractual status for next season?
I'm a free agent. I'll be a free agent after this season.
Guess you're open to coming back here with that.
Oh, most definitely. I want to be back. Management understands that and they knows that, and the feeling's mutual. So.
Bonjour. It's not bad to be called Ento Serpshit.
No. I ain't gonna say I came up with that myself, but I kind of came up with that myself. It's been a long time. My last name just happened to fit perfectly with the interception. So that's it.
That pick there, I'm sure you've seen images of it. Is that the type of thing that you're gonna try and get the best possible picture of it, frame and put it up in a room somewhere?
Maybe. I guess
Maybe.
So. I guess keep searching for the pictures and see what's the best angle. But yeah, we're gonna find a good picture and hang it up on the wall.
Can you just talk about that play? I mean, it was spectacular. It was so athletic.
Honestly, just getting a call, like always, getting a line, communicate with Ciante's my half, so communicating with Ciante, communicating with my Sam, Reggie Stubblefield, understanding what we was gonna get. We watch a lot of film and everything, and just kind of doing my job, reading the eyes of the QB, and being where I was supposed to be when I was supposed to be there.
For a guy who was playing on offense, what's the feeling to be able to do such a key defensive plays?
That feels good. I'm enjoying of course I enjoy the switch of being a DB now. Like it's fun, and I'm happy that I'm able to use the skills that I have learned from receiver in a stage like that, at a moment like that of the game. Like the transition back to receiver happened in the span of 2 seconds. So I'm really appreciative of my offensive side being able to translate to the defensive side.
Like any rookie, you had some ups and downs this season. Mm-hmm. What do you think turned it around? Because it certainly did turn around the farther you went.
It was my coaches and my teammates telling me they believe in me. As y'all see, we have a great locker room and we're close. And it came with me knowing what I was supposed to do. Because some of them touchdowns I gave up, I wasn't doing my job. I wasn't doing what I was supposed to do. And like I said, when you're where you're supposed to be, good things will happen. The football will find you. And so that's what it was. Better communication, understanding my job, getting better, because I was learning a whole new game, learning the waggle, which I still say I'm learning. Learning the field, the dimensions of the field. Like, people don't understand and think like that's a big difference of the game. And so learning the pace of the game, what teams are going to give us in certain situations, it was all of that that I'm learning, and I'm still learning. So that's what it really was, just growing as a player, growing with my teammates.
People watch football for the show. There were a couple of key, outstanding plays in this game, including Mac's one-handed catch, your interception, fully extended and everything. How much does that add to, the wanting of playing this game, putting on a show for the fans in that manner? And what was your immediate family's reaction to that interception?
I'm not gonna say that they were surprised. I mean, it's a great moment. They were happy for me. They were proud of me. They're always proud of me, no matter win, lose, or draw, any setting. If I stop playing football today, they still gonna be proud of me. So when I called my mom, talked to my daughter, and I mean, those were the first two. Like, I'm always calling, and they were just happy. They were happy for the moment that the team won. My mom's a team player, so she's just happy the team won. She told me to tell Mac and Cody and tell everybody they did good, tell Mark and everything. So my mom wasn't even worried about me. She was telling me, tell everybody congratulations. But it felt wonderful, and my people were proud.
We've heard that Coach Moss and the 10 Quebecers on the team took a big effort in, teaching everyone about the culture and getting connected to the city and the fans here. How connected to the city and the fans do you feel now?
Of course I feel more connected. Been here a little while. Learning from my teammates, learning the whole French thing, trying to learn the culture. Like, I mean, for a lot of us coming from the States, like, we could be in, a Toronto or other places that are a little more American, but to be here, learning like French culture in Montreal and in Quebec, like things like I love it, and it gave me something to do other than football, because sometimes you kind of got to get away from football. Sometimes, it's overwhelming, but to be in a different culture and have something else to do, to learn things. Like, I'm still learning. I want to learn. So if anybody trying to teach me French or anything, like, I'm willing to learn. And I really appreciate the city of Montreal.
How much of a bonding factor was that for the team? You guys kind of going through that together, learning together.
it was a lot because that's one thing that Coach Moss like said when he first got in the building at training camp. He was like, "This is going to be more than just football. We are going to learn our surroundings. We're going to learn this culture. Like we're going to become one, not only as a team, but like I said, with this city." And I think that meant a lot to my teammates from here. Like that he's made it such a big deal while we're here, and that while we're here, we're going to take full advantage of learning something new.
Cole, this season seemed to be like a roller coaster of emotions for you. In the starting lineup at the beginning of the year, we kind of lost track of you for a while, it seems like, and making that big play on third down at the Grey Cup. How do you view this review of this season for you?
Yeah, definitely faced some adversity, getting benched for a couple of weeks, but like our head coach says, just keep working and grinding through everything, and it's going to work out in the end. And God was blessed me with the opportunity. They trusted me to do it again, and came up big in the end, and that's all that matters. We got the ring, got the cup, so it feels great. It was a successful season for sure, even with the challenges I faced.
I don't believe it was the first read on that play to throw the ball to you. What was the reaction when you saw the ball coming?
Yeah, I know. We were kind of setting it up all game, like they're jumping on those shallow routes, and especially 3rd and 5, I only need 5 yards. So we kind of set up and said if it's there, if the corner's flat-footed, we're going to take a shot. And so I ran out there as hard as I could, saw the ball in the air, and just knew it was time to make a play.
I was just asking the other guys, is that the type of play where you're going to look for the best possible picture, get it framed, and put it in your living room?
Definitely. Yeah, I'll remember that catch and get some pictures of that for sure. Remember that forever. That was awesome.
How important was the vision of Jason Moss this season for you guys?
Oh, it was huge. Just his character and everything that he preached to us was just huge, and we were able to come together, grow together, become a family, and just kept working, kept grinding, and we knew it would work out in the end.
What does celebrating with the city mean to you tomorrow?
Oh, it means everything. We got the best fans. I'm so excited to go out there, parade, and see everyone, see all the smiles, and just make all great connections with everyone.
You feel this team has the foundation to have a run of maybe 3, 4, 5 seasons, maybe like Winnipeg just did for the past few seasons?
Yeah, I'm already excited about next year and what we got, and we got a lot of great pieces coming back, and we got the head man coming back, ready to lead us into go for number 2.
You're a team that historically, methodically works its way down the field. What possessed you to throw up a 30-yard pass?
The stones Coach Moss has for calling that play. We talked about on the sideline that it was going to be a good play. We put Austin Mack in the slot, put Cole on the outside. We knew that they kind of didn't pay as much attention to Cole with Austin in the slot. But I just remember go through my reads. I knew that there would be a possibility for the deep shot, but I didn't want to pass up an easy first down if it was there. But all the prep, all the game film watching, we knew if we had Austin Mack at number 2 and he runs a quick out, and I put my eyes there that the DB would stop his feet. Sure enough, he stopped his feet, just kind of how you picture. I threw a ball out there, and Cole goes up and makes an incredible catch. A guy who I have so much respect for, the adversity he faced all year, but also to go into that game with having only 1 catch and didn't waver, didn't complain, just showed up every day. He blocked his heart out. He ran every route like he was the primary. And to see him have the success in scoring a touchdown and having that huge play, I mean, he'll forever be linked as one of the legends in that Grey Cup game because of what he did.
How many stones did you need on the
play? Quite a bit, to tell you the truth. And I just remember going out for that drive and thinking about my past against Winnipeg and not being successful in 2 West finals that have gone down to the wire against a team like that. And I just remember I whispered to myself, 3rd time's a charm, before that drive started. And that's what I was thinking when that play was called. When Coach Moss called it, I thought to myself, I said, all right, if that's the way we're going out, we're going to go out swinging. And sure enough, I believed in Cole to make the play, and I wish I would have thrown him a little bit better ball, but he went up and he was open for sure. And like I said, he made a huge play. And then, after that, the next play call, there's 20-some seconds on the clock, and Coach calls the next play. And I remember looking at my play call, and I said, oh, we're trying to win it right here. And as a quarterback in that situation, it's always funny because you're in field goal range with a great field goal kicker, and a field goal gets you to overtime. And so you don't want to force the ball. And I can remember the first time we played Winnipeg, I forced a ball and they intercepted me, and was my first red zone pick of my career. And so I didn't want to go at it tentatively, but I wanted to be aggressive. And so based off the film study, I knew that after we throw a big play on Winnipeg, they like to bring zero. So I just double-checked my wristband to make sure what my zero throw was, and it was Tyson on the post route. Sure enough, we broke the huddle. Free safety comes down, exactly what we thought. Took my drop, bought a little bit of extra time. Tyson runs an incredible route, crosses the DB's face, and makes an unbelievable catch. I look back at the clock, 13 seconds left, and I said, this is the CFL. So much can happen in 13 seconds. Fortunately, we were up by 4 and not 3, and so that extra point, I think, is forgotten a little bit, is how big that extra point was by Côté, and then obviously the rest is history. Our defense does their job, and we're here celebrating.
Look, you made it clear this year you were playing for the people who believed in you, but now you are forever a champion, and you have silenced all the critics, and there were so many critics coming into this season. I mean, how does that feel?
It puts a smile on your face just because there's been a lot of dark days, and this offseason was extremely dark for me going into free agency. But like you talked about, you know, it's guys like Danny, it's guys like Coach Moss, it's those coaches and those upper management who believed in me. It's the teammates in there. And, you know, I gave a little speech on day 4, and I just remember how many people came up to me and was just so positive and so encouraging, and I felt like that team was behind me. And no matter what happened in that game, I just felt like they were going to be behind me. And so I wanted to go out there and do it for them. But exactly like you said, my wife made an incredible amount of sacrifices this year, spending all the time with our son back in Reno, Nevada, and working a full-time job to allow me to come up here into a country and play football into a city I've never really been into and settled into. It takes a lot of sacrifices on your family, and there's a lot of people who have done a lot of things to get me where I'm at. And so I'm just thankful that we can all share in this together. It's not just me being a Grey Cup MVP. It's my entire family. It's our teammates. It's our coaches that all can share in it.
There's that image right after the touchdown pass where you turn around, you got your back to the line, and we just see you screaming, right? I'm guessing all that emotion that's when it's released right there.
Yeah, you know, it was kind of just getting everything out of you at that moment, in that moment in time, and taking the field. And, you know, after the sack, it was crazy. We were 2nd and 18, and I remember calling the play, and there wasn't one guy in that huddle that seemed discouraged or that seemed down. There was just this sense of belief, and we felt that all year with this team, and we felt it all playoffs, where there was a destiny, or, you know, it wasn't by chance that we were in that game, and the fact that we won that game wasn't by chance. There was a deeper meaning there, and the guys on this team are truly, all credit goes to them. But to excel in that moment was one of the most greatest feelings of my career, because it was all those negative times, all those tough times when you think it's not going to be worth it. It felt all worth it in the moment.
Where was that offensive performance all season? Had you guys played that way offensively, it wouldn't have been so hard on you.
Well,
were you just teasing us?
I think we did it so nobody expected anything out of us in that Grey Cup. And, you know, all week everybody talked about our defense and special teams, rightfully so. Like, they played incredible all year, but that allowed us to go out on the biggest stage and play freely. And I'm just, you know, I'm really thankful for is saving my best game for the biggest stage. And so now every time I turn on that Grey Cup game, I'll just know that was one of my best performances in the biggest lights. And as a kid, I've always wanted the ball in my hand with the game on the line, and I believe that's what winners do, and that's what winners want. And so to have that opportunity, I didn't want to let my teammates down.
I went on a limb. Saying that it might have been the best game of your career. And then pro football, would you agree with that assessment, or do you have another game in there?
You know, I think for the stage that was set, obviously I thought I played at a pretty high level. There's a lot of things I wish I would have done better. There was a double move we had to Snead in the first half that I overthrew him, and I thought that could have changed things. The first drive, I forced a ball to Philpot when I was scrambling, when I thought I could have ran and extended the play and possibly get a first down. So there was a handful of things that I could have done better, and that's something I'm going to do in the offseason. Is I'm going to watch every play like I did the previous off seasons and see where I can get better and how I can be better for this team. But it's a little bit different going into this offseason knowing that the game before you won, as opposed to looking back at 2 or 3 plays that you wish you would have done different in order to win the game.
And you're under contract.
And I am under contract, and like I've stated all week, that was one of the biggest reasons why I signed here. There was a handful of suitors in free agency, but Danny was the only one willing to offer me a 2-year deal. And it takes an investment by an organization to offer a guy who just got exiled by his previous club a 2-year deal to be their franchise guy. And so I'll never forget our conversation the first day of free agency when Danny called me, and he said he watched every single one of my snaps as a starting quarterback, and he truly believes that my best games are ahead of me and that I can be a franchise quarterback in this league. And hearing that from a general manager that I have so much respect for just got me excited to want to sign for this team. And when I signed here, the rich tradition and the amount of cups this organization has won and the championship culture that has been built here excited me to want to be here and be a part of something special. And I think we conquered just that.
You talked a lot about how connecting with Montreal and the culture here was part of your team bonding experience. So what does it mean to you tomorrow to be able to share that with the fans that you've spent the year kind of galvanizing around?
I mean, it's going to be incredible. It's I wish my French was a little bit better, but I will say this: when I signed here, I looked up this French sentence, and I can't even say it to this day, but I spent so much time on that, and I wanted my first message to the Als fans to be in French, because that's what I believe. I want to just buy into the culture fully. And so I'm really excited. I've heard great things about the way the Montreal Alouettes do their Grey Cup parades, and I'm just excited to see our fans. And what I respect most about our fans is we didn't have a lot of football games that was nice weather this year. We had a couple delays, and they stuck with us. And I'll never forget the semifinal game. That place was rocking. And we took the field, and I told the offense and I told the team going into that game was, let's reward our fans for having our back all year. That 1% that truly believed in us was our fans, the football players in this team, and our coaches and the upper management. Other than that, everybody else counted us out. And so we're just thankful to bring the cup back home to our incredible fans, and it'll be a time that I'll remember the rest of my life, I'm sure, that Grey Cup parade.
Did it change something in your preparation before the game to have, Alouettes alumni, but also Grey Cup champions like Anthony Calvillo, Luc Baudard-Jourdain to your preparation?
I honestly didn't. I reached out to a couple guys. I reached out to Ricky Ray, and I reached out to Travis Lulay, 2 guys that I was teammates with and I got a lot of respect for, 2 guys that have won Grey Cups. As a quarterback, you have a lot of friends or teammates that you can reach out. You have a lot of other quarterbacks you can reach out to, but there's not a lot of quarterbacks that I've been friends with that have Grey Cup experience or Grey Cup victories. And I had 4 guys. I had AC, Coach Moss, Ricky Ray, and Travis Lulay, 4 guys. That is a pretty special club. And like I said, I've been spoiled with riches as a quarterback and the guys I've been able to learn from. And so I took a little piece from each one of them and just implemented it into my week and implemented it into my routine, into my game plan. But Coach Moss always talks about it. If you change your routine just because you got to the Grey Cup, then you left some stuff on the table. And I didn't leave anything on the table. I played my heart and soul out there, and I left everything on the field. And so win or lose in that game, I would have been proud of just giving everything I had all season long, but it feels a hell of a lot better when you win.
Did you prepare? On the run, on the last drive, were you the first option? Was that the play, or you had to scramble your way?
Yeah, no, it was a drop back play, and I remember Coach Moss in the headset. He just told me, "Let's get to third and manageable, and we'll have a chance." And I dropped back, and they had a great defensive line, which our offensive line doesn't get enough credit. They played, in my opinion, their best game on the biggest stage, and they've been great all playoffs and all the end of the year. They've really been gelling together. But Willie Jefferson, great pass rusher, got some pressure. I was able to leak out, and I just remember I saw some green grass and thought back to that first series where I didn't use my legs, and I said, I'm not going to miss that opportunity again. I'm going to use my legs. Fortunately, got to us into a third and medium where it was a little bit more manageable, and I think there was a little bit more belief as opposed to a 3rd and 18 or 3rd and 15. So, and that was the plan all along, was just get to third and manageable.
You just mentioned your offensive line. I lost the count of how many questions we asked about Pass Pro in the first few weeks of the season. But over the last few weeks, and especially in the playoffs, they did a really good job to protect you. I think only 1 sack was taken, 1 other hit during the game. What went with this unit of guys during the season to make them go from a difficult start to this bright of an end of his season?
Yeah, well, I think you guys owe them a lot of apologies. But to tell you the truth, I think that the unwavering support from the teammates, and I think myself included, the overall positivity was one thing I heard from the offensive line was just the positivity I brought to them. And, I never let the sacks, dictate how I felt about a person. Those guys go out there and they do a lot for me personally and don't get enough recognition. The only recognition they get is when things don't go the way that we expect them to. And like I said, for them to go out and play their best game and overall in the entire playoffs and towards the end of the season. But if you look back on that, there's 2 sacks in the game. One of them was on a bootleg where we weren't really blocking Willie anyways. We were hoping to get around him, so it wasn't really on anybody. And then the other one late in the game was on me. I just didn't feel comfortable with my vision, and I didn't want to turn the ball over. So 2 sacks where wasn't on them at all. And so when you go against a Winnipeg defensive front that was coming off a game, I believe they had 9 or 10 sacks against a good BC team, just goes to show that those guys stepped up to the challenge, and I believed in them all year. And I told you guys all year, I have the utmost respect and belief in the guys up front, and they went out there and they proved it and they showed it, and I got a lot of love for them.
How much have you watched that last play or that last drive? I mean, are you due to watch it once you leave the scrum?
Yeah, I haven't watched it as much as you guys probably think I have.
I should watch it 1,000 times.
Is that what he said? Rightfully so, because he did all the work on that one. But to tell you the truth, my phone has been absolutely bonkers the last couple days. I had upwards to about 500 text messages. And so to all the people out there that text me, I'll slowly get back to you. But it just goes to show that the amount of people that have been in my corner, there's been a lot of people that have texted me that I haven't talked to in years, and just the belief in me and watching me and just following my career, it makes it all worth it. And like I told you guys, I played this year for the people that I wanted to prove right and not the people I wanted to prove wrong. And it changed my mentality. And just reading some of the text messages I've got from people helps me know that I did something okay, and there's a lot of people out there that are rooting for me.
Will you prepare a little speech for the crowd tomorrow?
If they ask me to talk, I will talk. I said everything I needed to say the day before the Grey Cup to the guys, and I know that speech is almost that infamous speech that nobody knows about. But if they ask me to talk, I will gladly talk.
Tu as vu tout ce qui s'est passé cette année, que ça culmine à un match qui a vraiment été extraordinaire. C'est quoi tout ce qui s'est passé par la tête là, au niveau des émotions?
Honnêtement, man, c'est tout le travail qu'on a fait, puis c'est juste tellement spécial parce que, comme Coach Moss l'a dit toute la saison, on est une équipe qui travaille, et puis genre, on est tellement une équipe comme vraiment close, comme on dit, et puis c'est juste, ça a porté fruit, c'est juste incroyable, puis juste comme, encore en ce moment, je suis encore sous l'effet de toute cette joie et tout, puis honnêtement, je suis vraiment content pour tout le vestiaire, pour tous les gars qu'on a tout. Comme Côté, un gars qui s'est fait release par Sask, puis qu'on commençait à critiquer dès le départ, disait comme quoi, c'est pas le quarterback qu'on voulait, nanana, c'est juste par défaut, Coach Moss, que ça s'est pas bien passé à Sask, et puis genre, on est juste venu avec une mentalité de underdog depuis le début de l'année, puis je pense que ça a porté fruit, honnêtement.
David et Côté nous ont dit que leur boîte de messages était assez pleine. La tienne ressemble à quoi?
Peut-être pas comme eux, mais c'était busy, c'était vraiment occupé, puis... Mais je prends le temps de répondre, même si je ne réponds pas directement. Mais c'est important de répondre à tous les gens qui nous ont supportés puis qui sont fiers de ce qu'on vient d'accomplir. Et puis, ce n'est pas juste nous, c'est vraiment toute la ville de Montréal. Et puis, je suis vraiment content qu'on puisse l'avoir ramené à Montréal.
Est-ce que tu pensais que le buzz autour de l'équipe serait aussi gros que ça?
Honnêtement, non, man. Je pensais pas, mais honnêtement, c'est incroyable puis c'est plaisant. Des fois, je ne suis pas un gars qui aime ça trop, l'attention, whatever, mais... Il faut qu'on vive avec puis qu'on apprécie parce que c'est des moments spéciaux, effectivement. Puis il faut être content puis il faut être fier, honnêtement.
Est-ce qu'un défilé avec la neige, c'est un peu un scénario parfait, dans le fond, tout le monde embarqué dans la culture québécoise?
Ça serait vraiment... Je sais pas c'est quoi la température pour demain, mais ça serait beau à voir puis je serais content, honnêtement.